Hello, Azerothians. With midnight on the horizon, I want to talk about the Sindori and the final classes they are missing. Shamans and druids are both nature-based, which is something that the former High Elves looked down upon as inferior to their arcane prowess. But times have changed, and with that, the Blood Elves should too. With Midnight promising a revamped Quel'Thalas, I think this would be a great time to revive the lands damaged by the Dead Scar. The Dead Scar is the path that Arthas and his Scourge took to destroy the High Elves 22 in-game years ago. It served as a reminder to the Blood Elves of all they lost, as well as all that they had survived. But with expansions like Dragonflight, where the focus was on looking to the future and returning home, I think it's time that the Blood Elves let go of this devastating monument of their history and finally dedicate themselves to healing it. Since we got to see the Emerald Dream in Dragonflight, I think it is reasonable to believe that a few Blood Elves stayed there to study druidic magic and learn from the wild gods. With Marithra as the new and empowered aspect of the Green Flight, she could help guide them in their journey to druidism. Imagine how amazing it would be to get a new introductory video to the Blood Elf lands, where druids are working on healing the scar and regrowing their eternally autumn forests to the gates of a renewed silver moon. I would love to see their druid forms be tinted with arcane magic or golden in color, glowing like the rays of the sun. Personally, I think this would be the one instance where I would actually like to see their druid forms be more in line with those of the Night Elves, calling back to their ancient history but inverse in color scheme. I know most would probably expect to see their forms be based on the animals of Quel'Thalas, like the lynx for feral and dragonhawk for travel, but I would only accept that with one specific expectation. I know much of the community I am involved with no longer wishes to see trolls as cannon fodder, so I would love to see the Amani trolls and the Blood Elves form an alliance. If the Blood Elf druid forms are to be the sacred animals of the Amani Loa, then there needs to be forgiveness and acceptance between the two. Maybe the Amani could take part in teaching the Blood Elves druidism in exchange for troll paladins, based not on the light but on their Loa. Then we could finally get Amani customizations for trolls too. It's a win-win situation. If this were to happen, the Amani could also teach Blood Elf shamanism. Sure, they could learn it from the Tauren who worship Anshe, which would fit alongside the Blood Elves believing themselves to be blessed by the sun, but narratively it would be more interesting to see them learn from their past rivals. It would almost act as a parallel to the former High Elves teaching humans magic in exchange for their assistance in fighting the trolls. Then we could see Blood Elf shamans and druids working together to heal the Dead Scar. I made a rough sculpt of what their shaman totems could look like, but imagine the crystal glowing and changing colors depending on which totem is used. I am hoping we see paladins for all in Midnight, and with the potential hub city being a rebuilt silver moon, it would be amazing to see the Blood Elves leading the way for other races learning paladins. In return, they'd get shamans and druids, whether from the Tauren, the trolls, even the Night Elves and the Draenei potentially. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time!